Hello, my name is Abe Zapata Jr., and I was the workshop facilitator for the 2019 Eastside Queer Stories Workshop. I'm excited to be with one of our amazing playwrights from the cohort, and I will let them introduce themselves.
Thank you, Abe. My name is Daniel Muñoz. Everyone calls me Danny. My pronouns are he, him, his. And the play that I wrote is called Prep.
Awesome. Welcome, Danny, to the bonus interview portion of our Eastside Queer Stories podcast. And the first question I ask everybody is, what kind of writing have you done in the past before this play?
I've written other short plays. Majority of them have been centered towards children and family-oriented plays because the theater company I was with, that was their objectives to do plays for kids, also teach children theater. So I did a lot of children's theater for the past several years. I want to say like the past decade. So it was nice to be able to write something that reflects myself as a queer adult, as a Latinx adult, and so thank you for the opportunity and for being an amazing facilitator. That's right, amazing facilitator.
Thank you. Yes, amazing. All of our amazing playwrights and the amazing cohort that we all got to be a part of. For this play, for Prep, where did the idea come from?
I get told that I am a passing hetero gay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't see it. But I thought it'd be funny if there was a queer person who meets someone and isn't sure of their sexual orientation and like is trying to find out like, uh, is this person being nice or this person being flirty? Like you can't really tell. So I thought of the concept like just that as the seed of it. Having someone who ends up meeting someone who they think that they like but unsure what their sexual orientation is, and then throughout the play trying to figure out if they're one or the other, and then like hilarity ensues.
Nice. It's like a mini rom-com almost.
Right. And I had this idea for a restaurant for the longest time because one of the most romantic scenes that, and I'm not even trying to compare my play to this at all.
It's okay.
But
Compare, compare.
well, the most romantic scene in the movie is the clay pot scene in Ghost,
Mm.
where Patrick Swayze is showing Demi Moore how to like make the pot, and he's behind her. And I always thought like that would be a very sexy scene with someone making food. So that also was in my head when I was writing this. So like, but how would I get there? Like, how would I make that into like a, a believable situation, even if the person is straight or gay, the cook itself. So I wanted to try to make it fun and flirty, but still keeping people on their toes. Like, is he or isn't he?
Fan, you say? Well, I can't disappoint a fan. I am also a very big fan of yours.
No shit. ¿Serio?
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I am impressed with your
Charity work.
Yes, your charity work. Just wow.
So is there an actual gay hot taquero in East LA? And can I get his phone number?
Only in my fantasies.
Mhm.
There is a place I like to frequent a lot, and I was actually featured on the news, and where I got the idea from. Part of the story was like you could buy tacos for someone in the future. You just buy it, write down and post it. And there was a taquero here in East LA, real close to where I live, who would do that. And I just thought that was a brilliant and great idea. Before the pandemic, I used to go and love to support. And I mean, I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say that they were very, very attractive. I would say that I like to go for that charity, but that wasn't the only reason why I would go.
The charity was a nice added bonus.
Yes, very much so.
Besides also the food, right?
The food, yes, the food was the majority of it was the food, of course.
How much of an influence where you grew up what is in the play? And where did you grow up?
So I am born and raised in LA, specifically El Sereno. It's definitely a big influence, the culture for me where I live and growing up. And even neighbors, like to this day, especially during the pandemic, like we took care of our neighbors. Like we would bring them food if we knew they couldn't go out for the order. So it's very much cemented like a community, especially trying to show that in this play, uh, some sense of belonging and acceptance and also like showing success. Like Luis brings up the point where it's like, well, I'm just interviewing a fucking chef. What does that mean? But like, this is like a chef who you find out has made it. He's gone through so much adversity in his life that he's able to rise above it all. I feel like that's something that's celebrated, should be celebrated as well.
What do you want listeners to take away from this piece?
That it's okay to be queer with a happy ending. It doesn't need to result in violence in any way. You matter, no matter what part of the spectrum of the LGBTQIA plus you are. You deserve a happy ending, and you deserve love, and you matter, and it's okay to be who you are. Never feel shamed, and just know that you might feel alone at times, but there's definitely people out there like you.
There's a lot of good intentions with the play without it ever running into sentimentality, which is really easy to do, I believe. And so, I think also with having Elena and Luis being a little bit sharper edged gives the play a nice little bite. So it doesn't stay like too holier than
Lovey-dovey
thou.
romantic.
Yeah. So nice. So there's this nice rhythm to it. And I imagine like Luis wouldn't really change all that much, but he'd just be more appreciative of where he's gone. And, as both characters kind of talk about where they end up or what they've achieved as gay Latinx men. So it's also okay to celebrate doing well
Yeah, success
and surviving.
Yeah, it's harder than it seems. And the original play I was in to write was very very much of a tragic play. And halfway writing it, I was just like, do I really want to write this? Or because I always had the idea for prep, and I wanted to do the idea for prep, but I wanted to challenge myself for something new. And when I tried to do that something new, I realized I was writing something very depressing. And I was like, it's okay to write that as well, but I wanted to show like the other side of storytelling. I wanted to show the more positive side, which unfortunately is not always what we see in the media, like you had mentioned, and it's not always what we see in Hollywood. And I feel like, you know what, this is, if there's a place to tell a story that ends well with us as our identities, I feel like I try to do prep justice with it.
Nice. And that's what I enjoy about theater, is that it does allow us to work independently. So we're not beholden to any gatekeepers for telling a story like this.
The first queer play I've ever written was in 2019. I wrote the play called Zaddy for the Brown and Out at Casa 0101. And so that was a great stepping stone. Again, trying to write a positive story with queer elements and Latinx elements. So that helped me write this piece. When I was going to try to do something opposite and write something tragic, I'm like, well, why? Like, there's plenty of tragic stuff to write about, but you know what? Sometimes you just need a reassurance that, hey, we're queer and it's okay.
Fuck it, I'm still nervous, but I want to ask you something.
Of course. Anything.
Would you like to go out with
Yes.
Javier?
Javier.
Yeah, he has this huge crush on you, and he hasn't been able to tell you.
Really?
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
What did you gain from being a part of the ESQS workshop?
Oh my god, so much. Not only did I gain like a new play that I'm very proud of, which thank you again for being an amazing facilitator. I got a safe space. Like I got to work with my fellow community members in the sense of LGBTQIA plus that I have cherished so much to this day. Like I still talk to everyone in the group. I got to build friendships. I got to build a sense of community and belonging. I got so much out of it that I didn't really realize I was missing. More importantly, just the freedom to be me. You know, I could never thank you guys for that. Like, be comfortable writing. And you know, I've been out for such a long time and whatnot. You still feel insecure about things and whatnot. And I could be a very insecure person, but having your fellow queer people hype you up and want to see you succeed and just have that energy of positivity around you during the workshop, and also just like give you amazing ideas that you never thought about, and want you to succeed along with them. I feel like it's so empowering that even I definitely didn't experience like going to college or having a playwriting class, like having that was just so like robotic. To have like an actual heart in this workshop was amazing to experience.
You know, the play was originally supposed to be a physical festival, and we obviously, due to the pandemic, switched to an audio play. And so you are not only a writer of prep, you are also a director for one of the plays. Do you kind of want to talk about that process?
Sure. So I guess I mentioned that I would write children's theater back in the day. My first gay play was Zaddy, but I am a majority of a director. Like that's what I focused on. So writing is still kind of new for me, but directing is something that I've been comfortable with. I've been doing that for over a decade. So I was happy to direct Mask for Mask by Cesar Carmona, who shout out to him. He's one of my besties. I will say though, like I have been writing. I've been writing for like several years, a couple of years, I should say, not long. But this is the second play that he wrote, the second play he's ever written, and it's fantastic. And I am so jealous that he has like such natural skills. Because when I read it, I'm like, oh man, this is so funny. I want to direct this so bad. And yeah, so thank you. You guys gave me the opportunity to direct it, and I was so happy with it.
Yeah, no, and it was really fun to listen to, and I got to be there as as the actors recorded, and you were linked in through Zoom.
Elliott Feliciano was the director of prep, and he was amazing. Like he was great to work with. He also like would include me in stuff and ask for my opinion, which was nice. After a while, I was like not giving my opinion. I'm just like, you're the director. I'm gonna watch. And then I didn't go for the day of the recording. Because I was like, Elliott, you got it. You got this. That was an interesting process to experience as a playwright, but then to switch over as a director was I guess I kind of got conditioned because I saw Elliott do it, but it was such an interesting thing to really focus on not the physical aspect of it, but like how they were saying their words and the timing of it, because the timing is very important. Even though I knew they were going to be like separate recordings for the most part, or depending, but I still wanted them to have that natural like progression and pacing, and like where it's okay to speed up here and slow down here and not speak so fast and enunciate and blah blah blah. So having that whole aspect was very interesting as a director to focus on this audio play. But it was so fun because the cast was amazing. Like we got so lucky. We got so lucky with our cast for Mask and for prep. Like
And for, yeah, I was about to say both casts are great.
Yeah, they're so amazing. Like it's so wonderful, and it's amazing how we were able to like, get actual queer artists into these plays and really feel that LGBTQI spectrum of like we can do anything. Like, watch out, we have voices, we have talents and skills. Like we can tackle it all.
And what's really fun about the whole experience is that from directors to writers to the actors, pretty much everybody is queer. And
Which
of course,
I love. That's
yeah,
my
right?
favorite thing. But representation is so important, and you don't even see that. And especially especially in Hollywood, where they cast cis hetero men to play like trans characters, which is ridiculous, and then they cast cis white gendered females to be like minority characters of homosexuality. It's just annoying that they have that still going on. So it's great that we can be authentic with it.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, there are writers, actors, they're all here, directors. And that's our big goal, is that this is a showcase for you all because you're here, and it's taking
Queer.
Hollywood. Yeah, you're here queer, and somebody has to get used to it. And also, it'd be nice to get the money, but
Right. Make them monies.
Hi, I'm Ana Bernal, Executive Director and founder of Q Youth Foundation. I wanted to give a special thanks to our listeners worldwide. And if you have enjoyed our ESQS series, please consider making a donation to Q Youth. We are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to building creative and brave spaces for the LGBTQIA+ community. Check out our website at www.qyouthfoundation.org to learn more about us and donate to support our programming. Thank you.
But I could totally see prep being a part of like a Netflix, rom-com, and I don't see why that hasn't happened.
Very true.
we got 3 gay Christmas movies, all white men, but I guess they were gay, so that was something.
Yeah, or white lesbians.
Yeah,
and
white lesbians, and usually it's like a period piece, and like they're really sad.
So yeah, we definitely that's why I guess I love Hentified. Like Hentified was really a great show that I don't know, like I remember watching that, and there was like certain episodes, I won't spoil anything if you haven't seen it though. If you haven't seen it, why not? Where like you cry in and whatnot, and you feel the emotions and you care about, and that's something that I really love about this Play Festival, is that we see different walks in life, but we care about the characters, and we feel the emotions when the emotions hit, and we feel the successes when the successes hit, the laughter and whatnot. So yeah, Eastside Queer Stories, amazing.
Yeah, and Pose, Hentified, Vida, all these amazing Latinx shows featuring queer characters. Watch them so that we can continue to get things like this produced.
Yeah, support.
Yeah, and when we have the place physically, we do sell out, so there is an audience for this work, and so I'm excited for these to go out into the world, and maybe get international. You never know. Hopefully,
knock on wood.
Yes. Because I do believe like the queer story is universal. Like no matter whatever we got taught in. I know I went to screenwriting school and school for playwriting, and especially when I was doing screenwriting, the idea of universality always was around whiteness,
right?
Which is not true.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not. I think if you try to be authentic to your own story, like there are people who resonate with you. Like again, I'm a Latino, Latinx, queer, bearish type of guy or whatever, and though I deal with insecurities and I deal with questions, stuff, whatever, like that's something that's universal throughout the gamut of life. Like everyone's insecure, and if they tell you otherwise, it's probably a lie. So there are stuff that we live through that is relatable to others, and if we just are honest about that and about who we are and about what we struggle with, and just speak truth, it will resonate with others for sure.
And I think that is the important nugget there, is the truth, and whether that truth is a little subjective from person to person,
right
it's our specific truth, and we should be allowed to speak it. And I think that's what's missing, and it's exciting for these plays to get out there. And Oscar and Ale and the other Daniel all did amazing acting on prep, and Elliott did a great job directing. So I'm excited. Agreed. I'm excited for people to hear it, and or they just heard it, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully they just heard it right now, and they're listening to this, and they're shaking their heads like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know. I keep imagining somebody on the bus just nodding their head like, yeah, I agree. I concur. I hope that's if you're on the bus right now, I hope you're not in your head. Are you working on any other projects at the moment?
I am. I somehow seem to find myself busy even during the pandemic, which I guess is a good thing. So I am currently, I'm with a theater company called Company of Angels currently, and they're one of the oldest nonprofit repertory theaters in LA. I'm part of their playwrights group. I just joined it, I would say, in November of 2020. So it's all been virtual online, and they workshop playwrights doing full length plays. So I'm doing a full length play, doing a full either 90 to 120 page play called The House I Call Home, and it's another queer story. You can't stop me now. I'm doing queer stories moving forward, but it's also a family play. Like it deals with a son who is basically disowned from his family for being gay and runs away from his family situation to fast forward 25 years later, or 20 years later, his father passes away, and he reunites with his estranged twin sister, and what does that dynamic deal with? And it's set during two time periods. So there's a cast of the youth, and there's a cast of when they're older. So it's like the young cast and then the older cast. So it's interesting how it's coming out. I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited. I've been getting some great feedback. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that soon. And then
So will there possibly be a live reading sometime this spring or summer?
in the summertime. So I am already halfway done with it.
Oh, sweet.
And the workshop ends in June. So I should be hopefully almost done with it or done with it by then, where they will be holding live readings for it, with hopes to be performing it live once theater is cleared here in California.
Nice.
And then I briefly mentioned my first queer play that I wrote, Zaddy. I just adapted it into a short film, which I'm hoping I'm going to have a reading of that very soon. So by the time you're hearing this, I think the live reading would have already happened. So with hopes of having that filmed either in the fall of this year or spring of next year.
Nice. Well, yeah, so it sounds like you have stuff in the work, which is what we always want to hear. And that means that there's going to be more queer content for
Definitely.
us to watch
Can't
and
stop
listen
me
to.
now.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I know what it's like to write a full-length play. It is work.
It is.
So good luck.
Thank
Break
you.
a leg. Or I guess, well, we're writers. We can say good luck. And I'm excited. Yeah, I genuinely care when you all have work that it comes after the workshop, because then I get to like watch it and see it and listen to it, and it's always exciting to me to see everybody's growth.
Thank you. Appreciate that so much. I mean, you're a great playwright. That's why you won the award for. I'm trying to help you up.
Borracho, yes, I did.
For Borracho with. Damn, I can't think of
Oh,
the
for
Hollywood Fringe Festival.
Yeah, Hollywood Fringe Fest, yes.
Yeah, for the Hollywood Fringe Festival, you won the award. So
At the last live Hollywood Fringe Festival too.
Yes, which you will forever be able to say that for a while. That
Right, I'm the reigning champion.
I mean, Borracho was great. It was a great play. So, and I saw it twice. So.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, no, yeah, and that was a labor of love, and that's why when you're talking about writing, it's almost a little bit triggering, because I know what that process like. It's very, for everybody listening out there, writing the short pieces are hard enough. So multiplying that and doing multiple drafts is, yes, especially with theater.
It's definitely a labor of love, but emphasis on labor. I'm lucky that I'm in a workshop with it, so like I have to turn in pages, which means I have to I can't slack off so much, even though I really want to sometimes. But at least that holds me accountable for my writing, is that I have deadlines to meet.
Yes, which is what's great about being part of workshops. So if you go follow Q Youth, so when the Eastside Queer Stories workshop is happening, and because accountability is very helpful.
Definitely. I would highly recommend joining Eastside Queer Stories workshop festival. So
where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's so funny. Every time I give this name out, I always feel like I just did it because of my play. Not that I actually see myself as this.
Go ahead.
But it's Zaddy __ Danny. So Zaddy Danny is my Instagram.
Zaddy Danny with 2 underscores in the middle.
Yeah, actually, I'm double checking that. Yes, it's 2 underscores
Okay.
in the middle. Is my Instagram. You can follow me there. My account is not private, so feel free to just follow me and I'll follow back.
Yeah, and you can get updated when the plays are going to be read and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I like to post a lot of information about my work on there, so definitely that'd be the place to go to.
Nice. Any final words for the listeners out there?
Well, mostly thank you so much for supporting queer stories, Latinx stories, and all spectrum stories here. I am very proud of the piece, and I love all the other pieces as well. So I hope you continue to support the other pieces that are coming out. And also want to say thank you to Abe and to Anna and to Brandon for all the hard work that you guys put into to the director, Elliott, and the cast. Amazing work. And yeah, be on the lookout for Eastside Queer Stories and other playwright workshops and other stuff that QU's Foundation does, because literally I love this theater company and theater and basically all aspects of what they do.
Thank you, Danny. And thank you all for joining us for Eastside Queer Stories. And make sure to follow Daniel Muñoz or Danny at Zaddy _ Danny on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes, right. I got it. And make sure to subscribe, share on social media platforms. And the other thing is, if you're listening out there and you're in New York or you're in Europe, I don't know, wherever you're at, we can all connect through social media. And so say hello. And yeah, let's continue telling stories, because that's really what all this is about.
Yeah, represent.
Yes, there's a bunch of queer people all over the world.